As many of you know, I've had two recent verbal altercations with members.
Your chief of police, your select board members are part of a cover-up. And that's earth-shattering for townies.
Rampant speculation is born out of sloppy police work. That is just an alleged fact. And over the past couple of days, we've heard news that leads us all to believe that people are starting to be held accountable. But what's not being said has me very concerned, and it should have you concerned as well. So welcome to The Point. Let's get to it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Trooper Proctor's suspension without pay is a step in the right direction because we all want justice for John O'Keefe. And newsflash for everyone who didn't know, the Free Katen Read supporters want justice for John as well. But the cover-up was nonsense, right? Well, what officials aren't saying right now should have everybody concerned. And if fair coverage and an open conversation is something you prefer, subscribe to this channel and hit that like button down below. Because the union's spoken out about Trooper Proctor. And they said this: the decision to suspend him without pay pending the outcome of the investigation is disappointing because it shifts Trooper Proctor's punishment to his young family, said President of the State Police Association of Massachusetts, Brian Williams. His children will lose access to benefits such as health insurance. To mitigate the impact on them, a more reasonable action would have been a suspension that did not affect their medical coverage. Now, of course, everything said here is alleged. I encourage everybody to do their own research and formulate their own opinion. But that statement's a load of crap to me. If you want to talk about kids, talk about those kids John O'Keefe was taking care of. They depended on law enforcement to get answers, to get justice. And we're still hearing about these text messages. Those text messages didn't allegedly alter a video. Those text messages didn't allegedly bring solo cups to a crime scene. To me, it seems like the authorities are dodging the real problem here, and I think I know why. But if you believe they're calling it fair, let me know down in the comments below. This is an open discussion channel at the end of the day. But this was the other announcement that was made during that Canton board meeting.
An additional statement, Chief Rafferty has placed Kevin Albert on paid administrative leave while an outside, and please be quiet, while an outside independent investigation is being conducted relative to his actions in a case he investigated with Michael Proctor approximately 2 years ago. Kevin Albert was placed on leave on June 13th and will remain on leave until the results of the investigation are provided by the outside independent investigator.
So now we have two people in law enforcement who are suspended, one with pay, one without, all over their alleged bad behavior. That came out at trial. First, who is supervising over there? You got two people in law enforcement getting sauced in a police cruiser, a lost weapon and a badge, and they only found out about this recently? I'm sorry, but that's just bad. And there is a clear lack of oversight going on right now in Canton, in my own opinion. The O'Keefes deserve better, and the citizens of Canton deserve better as well. But these announcements look like scraps to me. They look like crumbs being thrown out to distract angry people from the real problem. And this is where I'm worried. They're more concerned about a conviction rather than justice. While one Albert's apologizing and the other one's being suspended along with Proctor, multiple jurors have allegedly came out very recently. And we're hearing they're making the statement that they were all unanimously not guilty on a couple of these charges. Now, we need more answers, of course, but this puts the DA in a tricky situation. And here's why law enforcement won't come out and say what's really going on allegedly. Right now, the focus of these suspensions is this text message and alleged bad behavior. But what happens if they come out and say that behavior is linked to this Katen Read investigation? Keeping in mind the already looming not guilty votes the previous jury already cast. What happens to this case if MSP or the Canton Police Chief came out and said law enforcement messed this investigation up, or the actions of these two officers were directly tied to this botched investigation? What does that do to this case in your mind? And that is why I'm worried the DEA is still seeking a conviction rather than justice. Of course, we don't know that for a fact, but it's no secret that Proctor's and Albert's suspension are going to make their way into the next trial, if they have one. It is very possible that the powers that be are slow-rolling these investigations, very similar to how MSP slow-rolled this announcement during the Katen Read trial. Because they would know that if this information came out, it would make their overall investigation look even worse. But even handling it that way does nothing to restore the trust in that community. The DA and law enforcement can't blame Turtle Boy for this. These internal investigations should be as open and transparent as possible. The facts of this case are the facts at the end of the day. But these suspensions seem more like damage control rather than a step towards justice to me, and I wonder if you're seeing it the same way. I avoided all social media on this case before the trial, and even I could see that some things just weren't lining up. So if Canton PD or MSP are holding on to something, they need to come clean with it. John deserves justice and the citizens of Canton deserve the truth. And to me, it seems like we're definitely not getting the full story here. I don't know that for a fact, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You can let me know down in the comments below. Y'all be safe now.